Welcome back to Real Estate Without Agents, the playbook for homeowners of the information age. I'm Rock, Florida. In the last episode, we talked about controlling what you can control: public data, portals, algorithms. Today, we shift gears because mature stewardship isn't just about control, it's about discernment. There are things you can influence, and there are things you simply need to understand. This episode is about the second category, the things you can't change, but absolutely need to know. Let me tell you a story I heard recently that punctuates this point properly. Brad bought 5 beautiful acres just outside town in a restricted access neighborhood. Perfect, quiet, wooded, room to breathe. Brad had a vision: 30 by 40 metal shop, concrete slab, lift in the corner, half workshop, half man cave. He closed on the property, starts calling contractors to improve his property to his liking, and then he discovers 3 things. First, the lot boundary wasn't where he thought it was. The fence was not his legal lot line. Second, there was a gas line easement running diagonally through the exact spot he planned to put his garage mahal. Third, the POA covenants restricted detached outbuildings to a maximum height that made his dream structure non-compliant. Brad now owned the dirt, but he didn't own the freedom he thought he did. Now, imagine being the seller in that scenario and the buyer coming back saying, "What else didn't you tell me?" This is why we're having this conversation. Let's start with covenants. If your property sits inside an HOA, a POA, or a platted subdivision with deed restrictions, there are rules attached to your dirt. Those rules can govern fence types, building height, exterior colors, outbuildings, parking, short-term rentals, livestock, solar panels, and tree removal. A covenant is simply a restriction tied to the deed. You may have full, quiet enjoyment, but not unlimited authority. Many buyers want to build a shop, a pool, an addition, an accessory dwelling unit, a guest house. And they will ask, you need to have current HOA and POA documentation, architectural committee review guidelines, transfer fees, any outstanding assessments. These documents can usually be obtained through the HOA, the county courthouse, or your favorite local title company. And here's the key. You don't have to agree with the rules, but you do need to know them because the buyer will. Now let's talk about easements. Gas lines, electric lines, drainage easements, cable lines, municipal rights of way. You may not know exactly where they are, but they exist and they matter. An easement is someone else's right to use part of your land for a specific purpose. You still own it, but you don't control it. That gas line easement might prevent a shop, a pool, or a permanent structure. That drainage easement might prevent expanding your driveway or building close to the property line. You don't want your buyer discovering these mid-contract. Acquire your plat, any recorded easement documents, title commitments if available. Know what burdens your land carries. If the property is not your primary residence and it's currently rented, you need to be able to produce the lease instantly. That lease affects buyer occupancy, closing timelines, financing, quiet enjoyment. If there's a tenant in place, the buyer may inherit that tenant and that lease. That dramatically changes the economics. Have it ready, no scrambling. Anything substantial that's unique to your property, have documentation. Examples: have you had any structural reinforcements? Produce the engineer's report. Solar panels? Make, model, ownership status, lease terms. Foundation repair? Warranty documents. Retaining wall? Contractor info. Septic system? History of maintenance records. If your property has a well, you will want to have relatively recent lab test results, if applicable, and flow test documentation. Anything that could raise a question later, answer it now. Prepared sellers reduce doubt. Now let's talk about surveys. If you live in a condo or townhome, you can likely skip this bit because you don't own the dirt. But if you own acreage, unplatted land, a meets and bounds tract, or anything with questionable corners, get a survey. I spent over 6 years in the field as a professional land surveyor, so I have an affinity for this particular product. Pins move, fences lie, neighbors assume, and many times it's sufficient to pay a surveyor to simply mark your corners. Other times, especially with improvements, utilities, or acreage, you may want a full survey. If you wait until you're under contract, you'll be scrambling, and scrambling reduces leverage. Know where your corners are before someone else questions them. Do you notice a theme here? This isn't about changing anything. You can't rewrite covenants. You can't erase easements, and you can't redraw right-of-way lines. But you can eliminate surprise. And eliminating surprise protects your equity. Here's your assignment for today. Obtain your HOA, POA documentation. Acquire recorded covenants and restrictions. Download your plat of survey. Identify recorded easements. Gather any structural or specialty reports. Locate any active leases. Evaluate whether a new survey is needed. Put it all in your due diligence folder. Prepared sellers don't panic. Now that you've taken control of what you can influence and what you must understand, next episode, we move into protection. Insurance, homeowners coverage, flood zones, and warranty information that may convey with the property. Because stewardship isn't about knowing, it's about protecting. I'm Rock, Florida. This is Real Estate Without Agents. Blessings on you and your house, and make it a great day.